So let me see who's in the audience, because we're always pitching. You, in your lifetime, I want to tell you, you are master pitchers. From the time you've been small, you have been pitching for what you want. Yes? Who has children here? Raise your hands. They're master pitchers. Yeah? And they've worked out even the right time to ask you for that right thing. Yeah? And even some of them have been really clever to work out that you really feel that, actually, no, I really do need to give this to you. Yes? You could actually learn a lot from your children. You might even, I'm sure many of you have pitched for your wife or your husband, because it's like selling yourself in a way. So let me find out, who do I have in the audience? So if you have a big idea, but you really haven't started going with it, just raise your hand. Great, you have an idea, great. And if now you're putting that idea into action, there's going to be a percentage of you who've put that idea into action. And so you're maybe between 1 to 2 years of being in action with your product or your service. Raise your hand. Okay, fabulous. All right, let's have a look. How about the people that have been going for 5 years? Less. And we might even have some veterans here, 10 years. Ah, Rashid at the front. Great. Well, let me tell you about my journey, just so you can understand who is this very tall lady standing at the front. Well, in 2005, I decided that I wanted to go off traveling around the world. And I thought, right, off I go. And I wanted the freedom that traveling gave me. And I went to 18 countries. I had the most magnificent time. And then when I came back, for me, if you think of this as the world, I was traveling all around the world and I was getting up to all many different things and life was exciting. And then suddenly I came back to England and I was going to every corner. Every day I was going back to this little dot in the world. I was like, oh, that wasn't enough for me. So I left my job working with young offenders and I went into the world of entrepreneurialism. I'm going to find my passion. So I tried property. Didn't do very well there. I was selling property in the Caribbean. The best thing about it was I got to spend time in the Caribbean. Didn't sell any property. Hey ho, not for me. You know, as you go searching for my purpose. Next thing I tried was PPI. Now don't go, ooh, because it was very new then. So people just hadn't, you know, they were like, okay, instead of, no thanks. It was a very different arena. Wasn't for me. And then I tried network marketing, which I really enjoyed because it was personal development products that you were creating, and I really enjoyed it, but didn't make very much money. So I, like many of you, was searching for what is it that I can do. And I started to do some Toastmaster. I was going to Toastmaster clubs, which is a public speaking amateur training. Raise your hand if you've ever heard of Toastmasters. Oh, I'm so pleased. Raise your hands if you go to a Toastmasters. A few. Fabulous. I always say when you're starting off speaking, because I have a whole big history in public speaking, that's a really great place to start off, and you know you can go twice a month and they really develop your speaking and your confidence, because even with pitching it's a lot about your own confidence and what you say to yourself. Anyway, I went to lunch with someone, and that's a good thing for many of you who's starting your journey. You want to talk it out with people. And I know lots of times people say, yes, but it's mine. No, what if people take? You know, and then that's a scarcity mindset. So you want to start talking out your idea with certain people just so you can get the feedback from them. And so I went to lunch with somebody and I said, I'm searching for my calling. And he told me, see, it's from him, I actually heard it, that he was training for a charity. And he was an associate trainer that went into schools to deliver public speaking. So I was like, oh, I'm really good at public speaking. I was winning competitions. I'm awesome with young people, especially young offenders. I kind of, what? Get them into... I thought, oh my God, it's a match made in heaven. So I had a conversation and I went to the organization and then I always have to do my little, thank you. And then I became one of their trainers. And then around 2009, people kept on coming up to me and asking me, oh, you're very good at speaking. I want to do it as well. So I started coaching people. And then I went to an organization called the Key Person of Influence and called KPI. And it was a 9-10 month mentorship program. And the first module we had to do for a whole month was pitching. Nothing but pitching. And people think, a whole month? Yes, a whole month. Because when you put your pitch together, you want to really understand that for whatever 1 minute of your presentation, whether you're doing a presentation like this or pitching, 1 minute is 1 hour of preparation time. So a 20-minute pitch is 20 hours or more. That's how much time you need to put into something. So we spent a whole month just doing our elevator pitch, not even the whole pitch, just an elevator pitch. Because when you say things out, it's not what you say, it's actually how does it land on other people. That's what you need to look at. So we're going to try that out today. Yes, I'm getting you moving. So you're not sitting there going like this. Do you know that after about 3 minutes, 4 minutes usually, we go into a bit of a zombie state and our minds will drift? So you've got to learn how to keep people's attention very quickly. That's why I have a lot of energy. Hey. So here's me in a speaking competition. I can't believe I'm taller than nearly all of them. I'm like, oh, I'm so long. Oh, well, it's an advantage. So I started to do a lot of speaking competitions, and it was Mike Harris. He's the man in the blue shirt. He's the person who taught me how to pitch. He's the first one who started. Do you remember Egg credit card? All the older people go, yeah, like me. And First Direct. Yeah, he was the person who did First Direct, and obviously they were pitching for millions of pounds worth of, funding. So he was a master to learn from. So I went on and I did pitching competitions, which I'd win. And it was so funny, in one of my pitching competitions, this is how you want to be memorable with your pitch. Because in one of the sections, I said, in the main pitch, I said, I've been told to ask for something that's really important to me. So I'm going to ask for a husband. And everybody laughed, because obviously it's so out of place. And I said, and failing that, I'd also like to have blah, 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 blah. 5, 6 years on, people are still coming up to me and saying, are you married yet? So it hooks people. So anyway, I go out speaking, as you can see. Go out pitching, and I do a lot of work in corporate, so I'm not a product, I'm a service. So I do a lot of work within the civil service, the Home Office, and I also pitch from stage, which is a whole kettle of fish, to have people sign up for your service. So, hey, see, yeah, I like posing. All right, so that's just a little bit about me. Like, who is this person? And over the years, I've trained about 25,000 people in public speaking. I ran a TEDx event, and I got funding for my TEDx event for 3 years. You had to pull sponsors in. So, you can do it too. So what are we going to cover during our short time together? Oh, I see. Right, so we're going to look at your elevator pitch. Because if you can't succinctly say what you do in 30 seconds to a minute, then it's going to take a long time for it to land on other people. So you want to learn how to do it in a short space of time. And raise your hands if you haven't heard of an elevator pitch. Okay, very few of you. It's just a scenario. If you're in the elevator with Richard Branson, you've got 30 seconds to just share with him what you're doing, what your product is, and really how it can benefit him. So we're going to look at your elevator pitch, and you're going to practice it. I know, run now. This is the time to run. Okay, good. You're here for it. And then we're going to look at the bigger picture of actually what to put within your main pitch. So your elevator pitch, I should see what the one. So you want to see that with the elevator pitch, I haven't got my thing behind. It's a 30-second, and the thing to do that people ask when you come across an elevator pitch is people don't, when they ask this question, this is the famous question, if you go networking, people always ask, so what do you do? My response is usually, have as much fun as humanly possible. Because they haven't asked me actually what I do in my career. And then they go, no, but what do you do? But what they're asking you is, what do you do? They're not asking you, who are you? So a lot of people answer, I'm a financial accountant. Well, I didn't ask who you are. I'm asking, what do you do? And the reason people are asking that question is, I'm going to come in closer. I'm going to tell you a little secret. Most people are concerned about themselves. Oh, I know. Travesty. 95% of the time, people are really interested in, I call it the WIIFM. What is it? Exactly. So when you say, what do you do? One of the first things you should be saying is, what are the benefits? And I think Anise was talking about that a lot around whoever you're pitching for, they want to know what's in it for me. And most of your pitch should always be about them. It's same with presenting. You know, you're sitting there going, that's good for you, Elaine. You've trained lots of people. Good for you. You're tall. Good for you. What about me? What about me? What can I learn? Me. And it's okay. So you want to see inside your pitch and just the elevator pitch. Now, this is just, there's all little architectures you can follow. This is just a really simple one that you can say who you are, as in what are the benefits and who do you serve? Because I know when someone's speaking, if it's not relevant to me, I'll switch off. But if you tell me in that first line that who your target is, I'll know, is that for me? Is it my cousin? Is it my Auntie Betty? Yeah, so you want to say who are your potential clients, the benefits that will have them listen to you, and you might want to do your method. Do not go into it in really detail, or else what will happen is, has any of you, someone's been speaking to you, or you've been speaking to, and then suddenly you see a glaze go over their eyes. You lost them. So don't go into the details too much. If people are interested, they'll say, let's go for coffee and we'll find out more. And then you might want to say why. People like the why. How many of you heard of Simon Sinek? Yeah? His very famous TED talk about the why. People, it's a heart space thing. And people will change and do things when they're moved by emotion. So I try and move people with emotion, with humour. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But also, if I tell a story, I have my own personal stories that are very heart-based ones, yeah? And I think even in the London 2012 bid, one of the reasons they used it is because they used a story about a young man, you know, in his country training. If you even watch a video in YouTube, the London Olympics bid video, yeah, it's all of children. So, oh, heartstrings, way. Yeah? So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, it looks something like this, and I'll hook you from the beginning. So see that what I'm doing and you can follow it. To get to £100,000 a year, business owners and entrepreneurs need to focus on sales and marketing. I enabled them to do that by speaking on the stage, because when you speak on the stage, you gain more clients, more money, and you have more visibility in the shortest space of time. I do this in my speakers training program that's delivered with webinars and live seminars. And I do this because each and every person has something of value to share. And I like to unleash your greatness. So there you go. You can clap me if you want. Maybe not. Just getting you alive, yeah? And do you see that you won't do this in pitching, but in presenting, you get people to raise up their hands because you also keep them engaged, and then I can see it's like a way of talking to each other as well. Right, so you can see what I did. Now, it's your turn. So I want you, with the person beside you, to talk this out, and you can write it down as well, because you are going to stand up See, like, I feel like the teacher, you are going to stand up. No, you are going to I'd like you to stand up and eventually pitch it to somebody, and then you'll see, does it work? Does it feel right? Actually, no. And that's actually how you're going to work with your pitch. You've got to try it out on people. I know. Sad. I'm sorry. You do. Yeah? So spend 2 minutes. Share with the... Is everybody more or less in pairs? Yeah? Share with the... either 2s or 3s. The person with... So if you're not sitting next to somebody, go on. Be friendly. Be friendly. The person with the longest hair, you go first. Work your way through that and then switch. Be friendly. 3, 2, 1. Go, baby, go. Don't forget. All right. Now, you can mix and match this as well. Some people might just start with their why. And if you could put a story, oh my gosh, storytelling. I think Anise, did she touch on stories as well? Yeah, stories are really powerful. So I've had people in the pitching workshop that, you know, they've gone through cancer. And because they've gone through this, that's their why. And they just start off with, you know, what do you do? Well, I went through cancer in 2012. And I remember that there were so many people who helped me through this process. And now I want to give back, and I do this by, etc., etc., etc. So already, how many people would be like pulled in? Yeah, so stories pull us in. So you could start with a story, and then you might go on to the benefits. But really, you have to remember, people are like, what's in it for me? And so therefore, before their eyes glaze over, that's what you want to catch. Okay, now you're going to try it yourself again. Because the only way that you actually get results, you know you're not going to get results just sitting here listening to me. It's like, great epiphany, wonderful. The only way you ever get results is action. Action, action, action. So I want you to try out your pitch. And it's the feedback from other people that actually is really valuable. If they have to ask you key questions like, so what do you do? Or who do you do that for? Then you know that your pitch actually isn't working. I belong to something called BNI. Is anyone a BNI? Hey! So BNI is Business Networking International. It's usually breakfast meetings, where it's a referral. Everybody stands up for 1 minute and pitches their business to the members in the chapter. One profession in the chapter: accountant, lawyer. I'm the training person. And in that 1 minute, you get to learn what works with your pitch or what has people going to their phones. Yeah, so stories are really good as well. 18,000 young people trained in 2014. 37 boroughs. 37 borough finals, and over 400 of those trained in Lambeth. Welcome to the Lambeth Jack Petchey Speak Out Challenge. Good evening. My name is Elaine Powell, and I am one of the Speaker Trust trainers. And myself, along with Charles T.H.I.N.K and Tim Benton, have had the ultimate privilege of training some of the most amazing young people in London. I train in many other boroughs, and can I tell you, they say, Britain's got talent. Let me tell you now, Lambeth, you have talent. You have some amazing talent. Give yourself a round of applause. And I'm not just saying it because you are here, but I tell you now, we are blessed in Lambeth to have some charismatic, confident, courageous young people. And myself and Charles, we spend 1 day in a workshop. Sometimes we have 2 workshops, and with some schools we have a whole year training, and we train year 10 young people. And I say that we're there to help them with the 3 C's. 3 C's that are going to help them get forward in life. The first is communication, obviously. The second is confidence. And lastly, the third is courage.
And this evening, you will hear of 21 of the best speakers from 10 schools. So the creme de la creme of the speakers that we trained are going to entertain you, delight you, and engage you this evening.